Hey, 420 MSP back with Jim Rimke out of Chicago. How you doing, Jim?
Doing good. Thanks, Harry. How you doing?
Good, good. Well, needless to say, the industry's quite frankly moving faster than I even expected it, and we've had that talk with some other analysts. But let's step back a second. We can always talk about growth and this and that, but give me some real world updates. What are you seeing out there? You're out there doing it.
Well, yeah, we've been fortunate enough to get involved with some partners and some groups that are, giving us some good experience here. Not just not necessarily here, meaning Illinois, but in other states. So we're working all over the country. And basically, we've been helping out not only with the hardware and all the, staging and configuring and then, deploying and that kind of stuff, but also going on site to do site surveys and also doing installations. And it's been a really interesting experience, and it's been a really different experience from some of the other retail verticals in the sense that it really seems to be kind of we call them fire drills sometimes. It's like it just is what it is sometimes. And I think a lot of what's happening is there's a big rush that happens because it's so much about being ready when the state, whatever state it is, says, hey, we're coming to check your facility and make sure you're ready. And I don't know that they're getting much notice, but it doesn't mean we can't plan ahead for these things. So like at the site survey, we'll go there, we'll see things like, oh, sure, the network cable is in, but it's not run. And, electric, everything's, sketched in kind of like that, so nothing's to the endpoints, nothing's dropped, there's nothing that's been kind of, nice and neatly finished off. And then we go, okay, well, here's what you need to do when we come back for the install. And then all of a sudden it'll be, a few weeks later, all right, we're ready. And we need it done because the inspector's coming in next week. And then we send a tech there, assuming that they're going to have all these things ready. And sure enough, we have problems where, not necessarily exactly ready for installation. There's still a lot of laborers involved inside, finishing things up. So you're looking at, maybe the network, there's only one network drop instead of two. So you're having to, pivot on the fly and figure out, well, okay, how am I hooking up everything? And then in the meantime, you got, dust and debris falling everywhere from the finished carpentry going on and stuff. And it's just a mad scramble to get everything done. So we do what we can. And we're really trying to do is get the people we're working with to set expectations and to try to get out ahead of these things so that people know that what we really need when we go in there and how this is going to run smoothly. And it's not just going to be a knee-jerk fire drill kind of thing. So it's been interesting to say the least. So
Yeah, the good old tales from the trenches, it's akin to, I'm listening to you, and it's akin to the early days of local area networking, right? And you had manual settings on the network adapter cards and stuff, and and now it's all automatic. Today, just to show you the maturity continuum, today, like my son wouldn't really know or care what TCP/IP is, the protocol, right?
yeah.
Versus in my day, you had to take a certification exam on it, but now it's all automatic.
Yeah. And I mean, God bless you for knowing that, because I sure don't. That's a different language to me too. But, these techs go right on site and, we give them the scope of work and it's supposed to be pretty cut and dry. But there's always that curveball coming at you. It seems like no matter what, but especially in this vertical, because we're dealing with a lot of different states, a lot of different compliance issues, a lot of different schedules. Every state's kind of different. So the standardization is something that we're still far away from, but we're hoping to try to influence a little bit from like from a life cycle perspective of buying hardware and then when you're going to get it in there and all the steps in between. So
Well, I'll end on this because in 20 years, these make great stories, right? When you can go, man, do you remember the day when we'd walk in and it was dusty and, cables were hanging? And because it is going to grow up, right? And
yeah.
and I'll end sort of as I begin. It's growing up much faster than I thought it would with some of the new states coming online. And hey, next month, Jim, if you don't mind, speaking of states, let's double click into what's going on in Illinois,
Yeah,
and see some
absolutely.
news. So, all right,
It's
my
been a
friend.
little stagnant and kind of caught up in the courts with some of the new licenses, but there's also some progress, and I'll be sure. I'd love to come back on it and kind of give you some updates there.
All right, my friend. Okay.
Yeah.
Take care.
Thanks. Have a good one.